I didn't know you could switch the things up. Now I know. That's good. No, it's not possible. The first strike was with the practice sword. Why? Why not? Because the damage to the practice sword's scabbard. See? There are slash marks like it was cut with a blade. A blade? You mean the knife? That knife was the only blade at the crime scene. This ain't word association. Explain things more clearly. If the first strike was with the practice sword, then does it follow for the scabbard to be damaged? I mean, if you're attacking someone with a practice sword, wouldn't you normally draw the blade? Leave the scabbard on. It's just heavy, and leave the scabbard on, and it's just heavy and in the way. Just one big handicap. Then why would the scabbard be damaged? What if, for example, they were suddenly attacked with the knife and took the sword for defense? There wouldn't be any time to draw the blade from the scabbard. In other words, the practice sword was first used in defense against the knife, which in turn means that the first one to strike was the first one who held the knife. I've got it. This is what happened. As soon as the culprit entered the room, he discovered the hidden knife and used that knife, suddenly attacking Miyazano. She scrambled to fight back with the practice sword, but even that was taken from her. Then, after breaking her wrist with a blow from the practice sword, he took the knife and... No, it's not likely Miyazano fought back with the practice sword. Huh? Why the hell not? Miyazano didn't touch the practice sword at a particular part of her body makes that obvious. Some part of Miyazano's body shows that she didn't use the practice sword. The area would have made contact. Her palms. They were clean. You're talking about Miyazano's palms, right? Miyazano's hands were clean, so it's hard to believe that she held the practice sword. How can you tell just by looking at her palms? I mentioned it before, but the practice sword's golden leaf comes off at just the slightest touch. A significant portion of the gilding of the practice sword's hilt has been rubbed off. That's almost certainly because the golden leaf rubbed off on the hands of whoever used it. So if Miyazano had used the practice sword, it doesn't make sense for her hands to be clean. Couldn't she have just washed her hands when she fled into the shower? No, she couldn't have. Why? Why? You can't deny that. Is it because I'm ugly? No, that's not what I'm saying. Some evidence that Miyazano didn't wash off the golden leaf from her hand in the shower. It's clearly defined in the school rules, something to do with the showers. The water was turned off. According to the Monokuma files, she died at 1:30 a.m. In other words, nighttime. Water doesn't flow to the showers during the nighttime, right? I had no idea. I've never taken a shower before. Oh, wow. You're the same way, aren't you? You smell like a channeled... You smell like a... Channeled? Channeled? Yeah, channeled apple smell. Ah, is that a compliment? Criticism? She's criticizing you. Pretty freaking obvious. Anyway, if she didn't touch the practice sword, then that means it was the culprit who used the practice sword. Which, wait, in that case, the person who slashed the practice sword scabbard with a knife was... Miyazano. She had the knife? But, as I recall, the person who attacked first, the person with the knife struck first, and the practice sword was used to defend against that. This is a lot of dialogue and talking. Oh, man. Ergo, the one who struck first was Miyazano? Do you understand now? That wasn't simply a victim. She was far from just a victim. It seems more like she was intending to commit murder herself. Huh? She took the knife from the kitchen, then invited the culprit to the room where she was staying. On top of that, if she was the one who struck first with the knife, indeed, those are the actions of the perpetrator. Now that I think about it, it was Miyazano who proposed she and Naegi exchange rooms, was it not? Perhaps she proposed the room exchange so she could frame Naegi for her own crime. Miyazano would do that to me? However, using that line of thought also takes care of the nameplate swap. She wanted to lure her target to Naegi's room where she was staying, so by committing murder in that room, she could direct suspicion at Naegi. In the order to do that, she needed to keep the room exchange hidden from her target. If her target found out about the exchange, it would have most definitely raised a red flag, and that's why she swapped the nameplates? Be that as it may, that plan is still far too dangerous, nay, even if she successfully eliminated her target, Naegi could reveal the exchange. I don't buy it. I don't think that soft-hearted Naegi could throw Miyazano to the wolves. Miyazano probably selected Naegi to exchange rooms with for that exact same reason. Plus, she's the super-duper high school idol. Between plain Naegi and famed idol Miyazano, whose word would you normally believe? Then, that was part of her plan? Seriously? And yet, her plan still ended in failure. When she attacked with a knife, she was countered by the practice sword, and then her right wrist was broken and she dropped the knife. Then, she was killed by the person who was supposed to be her target. Hold on a second, that's not right, because... Hey, haven't we drifted a little off topic? What do you think this is, a soap opera? Come on, hurry up and decide who's the villain. Time's up, punishment for everyone. Wouldn't it just suck if that happened? Yeah, dude, we gotta find out who this culprit is. Right. Right now, you must focus on solving the mysteries. If we don't discover who killed Miyazano, then it's all over. It's all over? You're telling me to find the culprit, but what do you expect me to do? There aren't any more clues left. Dying message. Ching. Actually, there is still one clue left. Miyazano's dying message. Dining? What now? A dying message. It was on the wall behind her back. She wrote the numbers 11037 in blood. This must be a hint related to the culprit. Before we move forward, I'd just like to make sure, did Miyazano actually write the message in the first place? There's no doubt. Her left pointer finger. The reason Miyazano's left pointer finger had blood on it has to be because she used that finger to write her dying message. Her right wrist would have been broken from the previous struggle, so she used her left hand. Okay, so we know it was Miyazano who wrote it. But what does 11037 mean? Wouldn't that one chick be able to help if it's about numbers, the programmer or whatever? I have no idea. No matter what I try, I can't find any meaning in that string of numbers. Of course not. That's because they're not numbers. Oh, it seems. Huh? What is it? If you consider that these might not be numbers, doesn't the 11 actually look like a letter? He's right. The line in the middle is really thin, so it looks like a number 11, but it could also be N. Whoa, you said something useful for once. My little gray cells are in fine working order. Though, even if we assume the first letter is N, N037 still has no apparent meaning. Crap, I have no idea. Rotate it clockwise 180 degrees. Rotate it? She wrote the culprit's name. What? She skipped the clues and went straight for the culprit's name? Huh? Whose name is it? The culprit's name in Miyazano's dying message? If I rotate the message 180 degrees, I should be able to see it. The key to this mystery is in the clockwise rotation. If you rotate the dying message clockwise by 180 degrees, you can see the letters Leon. Leon. That's Kudawa's name. What? What are you talking about? It's just a coincidence. It's just a coincidence. It looks like that. An accidental byproduct. No, it's not just a coincidence. Miyazano wrote the message behind her back while slumped against the wall. Quite likely, she moved only her hand behind her back writing the message in that position. Because she wrote the message in that position, when you look at it head-on, it appears rotated 180 degrees. You can try it yourself. Write a message in that position and the letters will be inverted. You're just grasping at straws here, man. I'm the culprit? Spit out the first thing that comes to mind, why don't you? If you're not the culprit, then why did you attempt to dispose of the evidence, huh? Now, Aggie, you know too, don't you? The evidence Kudawa tried to destroy? The burnt dress shirt. You're talking about that burnt dress shirt on the floor in front of the incinerator, right? Most likely, when the culprit stabbed him on his own and the blood spattered stained his shirt. To dispose of the bloody dress shirt, he threw it into the incinerator, and accidentally left behind that burnt fragment. I'm certain that the culprit didn't notice either. If he had, he would have been much more frantic. Isn't that right, Kudawa? Kuwata. I'll get better at pronouncing these names eventually. But can't we deem Leon the culprit by that shirt alone? Aside from Kuwata, quite a few people here wear dress shirts with white cuffs. Yeah, I'm not the only one who wears a dress shirt. There's no way you can tell whose shirt that was just from the burnt cuff. No, even if we can't infer it from the item itself, there are other details we can use. It seems you finally discovered the answers to all the mysteries, yeah, for the most part. The burnt fragment of the dress shirt the culprit failed to destroy. In order to determine who the culprit is, we need to focus on... Ah, that's a tough one. We know it's disposed in the incinerator. We don't really know when. We know how. How doesn't really matter, I don't think. I failed that one. I'm gonna say where. Oh, it's really... Okay, wow.